remains returned to Israel. Coalition may be cracking. And fighting fuel for enemy region. Today is the 27th of Iyar, 5768, June 1st, 2008. I'm Yoni Kopinski, and you're watching Arutz Sheva, Israel National News. Just this morning, Nissim Nasser, convicted of spying against the Jewish state for Hezbollah, was released from prison. In return, Israel received a box containing body parts of Israeli soldiers. Hezbollah spokesman Wafiq Safa made the announcement on the terror group's Al-Manar, standing next to a brown box, which he stated contained the remains. Nasser was shown standing next to Safa. The Red Cross and UNIFIL received custody of the Hezbollah spy at the Rosh Hanikra crossing on the border with Lebanon earlier in the day. The International Red Cross Association confirmed only hours ago that its officials received a box containing remains of IDF soldiers killed during the Second Lebanon War. The box was transferred to the IDF Chief Rabbinate, which will test the remains to determine who they belong to. Nasser, a 41-year-old Lebanese national, had completed his 6-year prison term but continued to be held in administrative detention at the Nitzan Detention Center. The Prime Minister's office has denied any connection between the timing of Nasser's release and any possible deal to return Ehud Goldwasser and Eldad Regev. While Prime Minister Ehud Olmert is fighting to maintain his government in the face of mounting pressure, what were once key allies have begun to turn on their political patron.
The latest sign that the ruling coalition may be cracking was a member of the ruling party, with MK Tzachvi Hanegbi of Kadima, long considered a close political ally of Prime Minister Ehud Olmert, declaring a date for national elections needs to be set. Hanegbi said there were 4 main problems on the government's agenda requiring action: the negotiations with the Palestinians, the negotiations with Syria, the need to vanquish Hamas, and the need to prevent Iran from succeeding in manufacturing nuclear weapons. Hanegbi claimed there was a possibility of an alternative government being formed if Olmert resigns. However, he called on the public to show patience and restraint and defended Olmert against what he said was a media mudslinging campaign. He also accused Labour Party Chairman Ehud Barak of an, quote, uncomraderly and inhumane act by trying to convince Kadima to depose Olmert. Barak himself knew tough times like those Olmert is undergoing. The last thing Barak would want to see is Foreign Minister Tzipi Livni becoming stronger, Hanegbi stated.
If the moral backbone of the Kadima leadership will continue to bend before powerful interests as it has been bending for years, we will make it straight.
Vice Premier Chaim Ramon, once one of Olmert's closest allies, says Saturday night he believed Olmert's public career was over. While speaking before the Washington Institute for Middle East Studies, Ramon estimated elections would be held by November.
In November, you are going to have election. U.S. going to have election for sure. And I believe that Israel is going to have election, probably going to have election.
Likud chief Benjamin Netanyahu at the same time instructed the party's general manager, Gadi Arieli, to prepare a plan for elections. While this was going on, in a move many believe designed to counter the gathering momentum against the prime minister, the Olmert government approved a plan to expand the city of Jerusalem by 884 housing units in areas liberated during the Six-Day War. The announcement was made by Housing Minister Zev Boim this morning in advance of Jerusalem Day. Many analysts see the move as an attempt to shore up support from the Shas party for the failing coalition. The U.S. government condemned the move.
A protest took place today in Ramat Gan. The demonstrators protested against the Dor Alon fuel company's transfer of fuel to the Arab-occupied Gaza Strip.
In order to launch missiles, the missile engine needs fuel, and so the Hamas terrorists need fuel for their Qassam rockets. As the Qassams continue to fall and cause damage in the communities surrounding the Gaza Strip, an Israeli company, with the authorization of the state, is continuing to supply fuel to the Gaza Strip. חברת הדלק דור אלון מעבירה את הדלק לחמאס, מה לא ברור פה? מפציצים את The demonstrators, who gathered near the Dor Alon fuel station in Ramat Gan, demanded the fuel supply be cut off.
Dor Alon is one of the major gas companies in Israel, and they are the only supplier of gasoline and petroleum products to the Gaza Strip right now. The Hamas terrorists right now are using this gasoline, obviously, to move rockets and other terrorist materials around the Gaza Strip, enabling them to hit targets in Ashkelon, Sderot, and other Israeli population centers. We simply want Dor Alon to stop profiteering on Israeli pain and suffering, and to stop selling gasoline and other petroleum products to Gaza. They're only doing this for money. There is no legal obligation for them to do so. They have a monopoly on the sales. We want them to stop. It's not worth Israeli blood and suffering for one company in Israel to make money. It's just not worth it. Cut it out right now.
Many of the drivers passing by were surprised and disappointed when they discovered what the protest was about, so many on the way to the gas pump made a U-turn.
Jerusalem Day will be celebrated today in the coastal city of Ramleh. A special event took place connecting the residents of the city to the celebrations in Jerusalem.
We are holding an event in honor of Jerusalem, a flag dance to connect the residents to the unification of Jerusalem.
Around 300 participants took part in the Rikud Galim, the flag dance in Ramleh, 5 days before Jerusalem Day. The march went through the neighborhoods of the city, and it was organized by the Bat Ami National Service Girls and the local religious Seed Group.
אנחנו מנסים כמה שיותר להראות להם את חשיבות ירושלים, במיוחד לאור כל הדיונים הפוליטיים על עתיד ירושלים.
We try to teach them the importance of Jerusalem, especially in these days when people are talking about dividing the city. We show them Jerusalem is ours, and we are happy it is united.
We prepared them, we taught them all about Jerusalem, and then we had this big parade to celebrate it as a finishing touch.
Technically speaking, we held it today because we want people to celebrate in the capital on Jerusalem Day.
The event was attended by many of the local children who marched proudly with flags of Israel and sang in honor of Jerusalem.
It's our eternal united capital. It's very moving. This is great. They should do this more. We are cooperating and taking part in the Jerusalem celebrations.
What is a girl from Los Angeles doing here in Ramleh?
I believe it's important to contribute to the Jewish people in every way possible, and Ramleh was how I think that my talents can be, used.
The event ended with a ceremony in honor of Jerusalem, and the night after Jerusalem Day, there will be a dinner in honor of the capital.
The former journalist, Holocaust survivor, and chairman of the secular Shinui Party, Yosef Tomi Lapid, died earlier Sunday morning at Ichilov Hospital in Tel Aviv at the age of 77. He was suffering from cancer. Lapid was chairman of Yad Vashem and a longtime journalist. In 1998, he was asked to lead the Shinui Party. Lapid accepted and created a strongly anti-religious platform, which was popular enough to eventually garner 15 seats and the post of Minister of Justice before being ousted from the Knesset. That wraps up today's newscast. Join us again tomorrow for another edition. Until then, shalom from all of us here at Arutz Sheva, Israel National News. And for those of you watching us from Yerushalayim, happy Yom Yerushalayim. And for everyone, happy Yom Yerushalayim.